Hi, and welcome to this live. Let me know if you are watching this now, leave a comment. And also if you are watching this afterwards from the recording, let me know that also. So I'm really excited today's topic because I'm about to share with you the structure of a killer media pitch. And I'm also going to go through my previous client's pitch, and then I'm explaining why it worked so well. So keep watching if you want to learn more about how you can get featured in the media by creating killer media pitch that is offering value to the media audience and to the journalists. Yeah, so let's continue. And one thing, I'm going to go through this pitch and the structure in English, obviously, because this group is in English. But I have also a document where I have this, my previous client's pitch in Finnish, because it was in the beginning in Finnish. I just translated to because of this live. So if you want to grab afterwards the document where I have the English pitch version or the Finnish version, then just send a comment, Finnish pitch or English pitch, and I will send it to you, or you can send me a DM about that. And one more thing before I continue is that if you are a coach or expert business who are ready to go from unknown to become a recognized leader in your field, who always gets the best clients and opportunities like book deals or speaking gigs, and do this even without cold outreach, send me a DM if these are your goals, because we have now going in our Industry Leader Accelerator program. So if this sounds like you and you would like to know more about the program and whether it's good fit for you or not, send me a DM industry and let's chat more about that. And by the way, if you are not yet following me on LinkedIn and Instagram, you can do that now. So on Instagram, my handle is I am Taru Tammikallio, and on LinkedIn, I'm just Taru Tammikallio. And on TikTok, I'm Taru Tammikallio also. But yeah, let's continue. So first, for the structure of media pitch. I have shared this previously, but it's always a good thing to learn things again and remind yourself about these things. So when you want to get featured in the media and stand out from entrepreneurs who are just sending basic or general press releases where they promote themselves, use this checklist to make sure your media pitch is offering value to the media audience and to the journalists. And this is how you will get featured easily and build true connections with the journalist. And this also helps you be seen as the leader who attracts new opportunities and new clients without the hustle. And now my headphone is doing something. So like I have told you previously, the most common way to try to get featured in the media is just to send maybe even quite spammy or at least promotional press release to all the media and all the journalists. And this can cost €1,000 or even multiple thousands, depend on are you using a freelancer or agency to do that for you. So it can be quite expensive because even if the press release would be really great, there is no guarantees that journalists will grab your story idea and write about it. So imagine if you send 10 press releases per year, it's at least €10,000 or dollars, or even more if you are using more expensive agency services, and you have no guarantee of the results. So that sounds a little bit risky to me. And even though you would get featured because of these press releases or because of the help of the agency, there's still this problem that if you stop working together with the freelancer, publicist, or journalist, not journalist, I mean agency, then your results usually drop because you and your team have not mastered and learned the skills to get featured in the media and have not built the connections with them because you have leaned into this outside service like a freelancer or agency. So you might get dependent on their services or connections, and we don't want that. We want that you learn and master the skills to get featured in the media on repeat without opening your wallet and without being dependent on others' connections. And we want that you build your own network of journalists you can pitch to and get featured. And obviously then rank better in Google because of these media articles and attract premium clients because you are seen as a leader in your field because of this external validation than traditional media is offering to you. And of course, growing your social media audience, because when you are featured in the media, you will reach a big amount of people who are not following you on your social media, and they can become your followers and even clients. And like I have told you, many of our clients have got 4 and even multiple 5-figure sales just through one media interview. So it can be a really nice boost of sales fast, but the long-term benefits are even bigger. So it can be a source of leads and sales even years from now. So that's about the benefits of PR and why we use this strategy I'm doing with our clients. So the first thing what you need to think about when you're doing your media pitch is obviously headline. So your headline needs to tell clearly what the story idea and the angle is. You cannot just put a headline where you say, story idea about how I started my business, because it's really vague and fluffy and it doesn't tell what's the actual content or the story or the angle is in that story idea. So it needs to be more clear. So we want that the headline is communicating clearly what the story angle is and what the story idea is about, because that's the only way it's going to grab the journalist's interest. And remember, they are getting a lot of these emails and pitches, so your headline needs to grab their attention and be really clear. Okay, then to the next thing. The next thing is you. And why I'm talking about this is that you need to explain why should the journalist interview you over someone else and why you are the authority. So if you are, for example, a psychologist and you are offering a story idea, something that is in your expertise area, you need to underline that you are a psychologist and you have this and this many years of experience and you have trained this and this amount of people and published book about this and this and this. So you need to add these credibility markers so the journalists know that you are the expert and they can use you as the source of information. Because remember, the main point of, or not the, yeah, it's a really big point, but not the only one. But the big point of getting featured is that you have this external validation, because it's a different thing to say on TikTok or Instagram that I am the expert in this thing, because anyone can say that. But if you are featured in the media and you are sharing your story and expertise there, people will see you as the expert immediately because of this external validation. And we want to prove to the journalist that you are the expert. So that's why you need to add these credibility markers. And this part can be, you can first tell, after the headline, obviously, who you are. And then the second thing is to tell the actual story idea. And these can be other way around. But yeah, you need to, this is a good structure also, but you can tell the story idea also first and then more about you. So you can choose. So then the third thing is the noteworthy story idea. So I have received countless media pitches when I was a journalist where there is no actual story idea at all. And the pitch is basically just an introduction about themselves and why they are so great. So make sure you tell clearly in your pitch what the actual story idea and angle is you are offering to them. So I use this as an example that how I started my business. So that is too vague still. So you can't use that as a headline, but you can't just use that as a story angle because that is not a clear story. So you need to add the specifics and think about what is timely and newsworthy right now. And it's good that if your story idea has also some kind of social significance, because why would someone care about how you started your business if there is no social significance or anything timely topic we can connect your story to? So it's really important that you put more efforts to these things. And this is something we are really focusing on my programs, because some people think that if they just say, can you write about my story, and they get featured, and usually they don't if they use that kind of story angle. So this is why we are putting a lot of time and effort and thought crafting these story ideas and angles, because it's really important that those are actually giving value and are newsworthy, because otherwise it won't work. So this is something we are focusing on really much, because it will affect your reputation also. If you get featured, it's good to make sure that the image you will create with that story is something that is aligned with your goals. So make sure you have actual noteworthy story idea. And then the arguments, why your story idea matters. And this is kind of a little bit same than with the previous part. So you need to tell why now it's a great time to pick up this specific story idea and what social significance it has. Is it related to something that has happened currently, or has the topic been previously discussed one-sidedly in the media and you have something new to bring, new insights or new statistics or new opinion about this topic? So you need to tell why they should write about this. And then the fifth is value. So you need to remember to keep in mind that your pitch should offer value to the journalist and to the media audience. So it cannot be just your introduction or you promoting your business or services or offers. So when you are leading with the value, you will create long-lasting relationships with the journalist. And that is one of the most important things when you want to build your brand and business and be seen as a recognized expert who can charge the highest prices and attract new clients and opportunities effortlessly. Okay, but that's about the checklist. Now let's move on to my previous client's example pitch. And remember, this was previously in Finnish, so I have just translated it. So if you would like to grab the Finnish version afterwards, leave a comment, Finnish pitch, and if you want this English version, then English pitch. So let's get started. So this client is in the consulting industry, and after she sent this pitch and got featured, she got 10K sales because of this media article. And this happened because potential clients saw this article and they got interested, and then they reached out to her, and this client closed them as a client. So like I said, it can be really quick and nice way to boost sales because it will create connection and build trust so fast when you get featured and share your story and expertise. But yeah, now to the title. I recommend that when you are offering the story idea, you actually put in the beginning of the headline story idea or news idea or something like that. So journalists will see immediately, okay, this is some kind of story idea. So they don't get confused what this actually is. And this headline is story idea from a salesperson to a career consultant, a business idea that was laughed at actually took off. So this is really clear headline because it's telling the transformation from a salesperson to a career consultant. And then there is something surprising that is business idea that was laughed actually took off. So it sparks interest because you can see that, okay, this person has a business that has took off and there is this career change behind it. And that was something that was laughed at, but it took off. So it's immediately make it look more interesting. So if you can bring up something surprising or non-common in your headline and in your pitch, then the story idea is more valuable immediately because people want to read interesting stories. And then the beginning, hi, a journalist's name. And you can start with I am X, a career consultant, CV writer, job search coach, and founder of X. So you start with who you are. And then you can go straight to the point. I have a story idea that would fit perfectly into, and then you tell the media name and the section where your story idea would fit. So for example, if your story idea is business or career related, then you can say this would be perfect for X media to your career pages or business pages or something like that. So the journalists immediately know that you have done your due diligence and you know what kind of sections the media have. And then you will tell the story idea. Would you be interested in writing a story about how a salesperson became a corporate management consultant and a CV writer whose services are worth several thousand euros and whose job search coaching has helped 100% of participants get employed in a new job within 3 months? So this is basically the summary of the story, and you need to add all the good golden nuggets and interesting parts and surprising parts to this, so it will grab the journalist's interest. And then you can tell a little bit more about your background. And this is, it depends on the story idea, but especially if you are pitching your story, why you started your business, how you did X, Y, and Z, then these are usually, it's usually important to add a little more context. But if you are pitching some kind of story idea when you give just your expert tips or opinion about something timely topic, then it's usually not so important. But yeah, it depends a little bit on a pitch. So let's go to the background. I help executives and experienced professionals commercialize themselves in the job market their expertise, make desired career changes, and get employed in a new job. And then you tell why your story should be published, why it matters. I believe that my story would inspire others, that their career paths can be found in unexpected places, and that they can succeed in it, regardless of the pandemic. So we refer to the pandemic because it was more timely then. So it's always good that if you can, in your arguments, connect your topic and your pitch and story to something that has happened recently that is related and connected to your topic. And that's how you create it more newsworthy or make it more newsworthy, and you add more social significance to your story. And then you tell the actual story. So when you are pitching your own story, how you started your business or did something, then it's good that you pitch the summary of your story, but then it's good to tell a little bit more detailed story because you can then add more golden nuggets, so the interesting things that will grab the journalist's attention. So then you say, here is my story briefly. I worked as a salesperson, but the pandemic made me stop and think about what I wanted to do and which direction I wanted to go in my career. I have always loved putting people's career stories into words and bringing out their best qualities. That's why I decided to become a CV writer and started helping job seekers succeed in their job search alongside my sales job. When people heard about my business idea, many laughed and wondered why anyone in Finland would pay me to write their CV when Finnish is not my native language. Nevertheless, I persisted despite the doubts, and soon my client's success started a snowball effect, and word of mouth brought in more clients that I could handle. So I will stop there for a minute because, again, we highlighted that the business idea was something many laughed at, and that is the interesting part of this, because usually people love these quote-unquote rag to riches stories where there is a struggle and then comes the success. So this is basically following that structure because it's working well. And then it continues. I decided to quit my previous job during the worst of the pandemic in September, blah, 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 even though I was uncertain about how my business would fare during the pandemic. Just a year ago when I met new people and I told them I was CV and LinkedIn profile writer, I received skeptical looks. And then And then we said that many find it hard to believe that someone would pay for such a service. And then we just talk about a little bit why people weren't believe the idea. So that was the story. And usually I recommend that you keep it short, but because in this client's story has so many good and interesting parts and elements, the timely topic that was pandemic, the surprising factor that something people didn't believe took off, and the fact that Finnish was not even her first language, and so on. We wanted to explain those things in a little bit detailed way because those are something that will make it more interesting. and then we want that you tell what you are actually going to talk about in the interview. So it goes like this. In the article, I could also share my own tips on how to test business ideas and find additional work or a path to entrepreneurship. So we want to create a summary what the journalist will actually get if they interview you. And this can be in one sentence, or then it can be bullet points. So the journalist can easily understand that if they interview you and write a story, what you are actually going to talk about in it. And then you can find more information about me here. And then you will put the links to your websites or your previous interviews or something like that. So they will see who you actually are and they can check your background. So that is something that is important to build trust. And obviously journalists can find these from Googling you, but it's easier if you just put them there so they can find all the information in the same media pitch. And then you ask, how does this sound? And then you can say that if they want to have more information, you are available to phone them or talk more about this. And then you just say, have a great day and we'll be in touch, and then your name and title. So that's basically it. And this is really good structure. And like I said, these stories work really well, but that's not the only way to do media pitch, but it's really working. And maybe I will do another pitch review someday from a different kind of story idea. But hey, it would be nice to know, would you like to get the template or the template, the English version or Finnish version? And if you have questions, I'm happy to answer to those. Okay, I will move forward a little bit before we end this live. And thanks for watching. And again, if you are a coach or expert business and you have already seen some kind of success in your business, for example, you have an offer and you have sold it, but you just want to make things flow even better and easily, and you want to be the leader in your field and stand out from others, and you want to utilize the power of PR and media, send me a DM industry, because we are enrolling new clients to our Industry Leader Accelerator program, where we are focusing on refining your offers and message and business. And then when those things are refined, so you are ready to go to your next level, then we are focusing on PR and media, because then you are going to get the biggest and best results out of it when the groundwork are done properly. Yeah, so if you recognize yourself and you get interested, send me a DM industry, and then let's chat more about your goals and situation. Okay, but have a nice day and thanks for watching, and send me ideas about what kind of lives you would like to get in the future, so I will then consider those. Bye.